Hey there guys, welcome back to Texas Beer Reviews, and on this episode we will be looking at my favorite style of beer. This is Boon's Oude Geuze. I like gin. It's the 2013-2014 brewing season, so it's got, at least a couple years on it, if not more. And it's got a bunch of information, right? So some of it's in English, some of it is not. Most of it is not. And anyway, 100% of course lambic. So lambic is a spontaneously fermented beer, and it has a certain mash bill and everything like that they use with, usually with a certain percentage of wheat and barley. And of course, Geuze is a blend of multiple years, usually 1, 2, and 3. Sometimes 4. I don't think it actually specifically says on the bottle, but this is most likely a blend of 1, 2, and 3 years. Boon has a bunch of different Geuzes that they do. They have this one. They have their Marriage Parfait. They have Black Label, and it's just they use. It's kind of a different recipe each time. Like with the Black Label, they had they did a beer with Mikkeller, and it was a specific percentage of their own different. I'm losing kind of the word here, not beer, but anyway. So this is just the regular Geuze. You can find Boon here in Houston, but not a whole lot of it. I've seen the Creek, and I think the regular Geuze. I don't know if I've seen Marriage Parfait, but just not this size bottle I haven't seen. It might be here, but this is their smallest size bottle. It's only it's a 25 centiliter, and it's 7% alcohol by volume. Has a best by date of October 30th, 2035, so I guess we're pretty good, of course. Geuze can age for a very long time, and it does have their ingredients. Usually you find ingredients in most bottles of lambic, but water, malt, wheat, and hops. That's it. The yeast is spontaneous. It is natural yeast in their region that ferments the beer itself. That's what lends it this funky, sour characteristic. So anyway, I don't think I've ever had just the regular Geuze from them. I've had Parfait and Black Label. That go everywhere. Oh, goodness. I did not expect it to have so much carbonation. Good lord. Alright. Let me get a paper towel. This box did just come in yesterday, so I guess that probably makes sense. I didn't give it enough time to settle down. Bad on me. At least I hadn't yet cleaned my desk. Now it'll smell like Geuze. Okay. So yes, little tidbit again, if you want to avoid that, bottles of spontaneously fermented beer, make sure you let it sit in cold storage for at least 24 hours. Especially if it came in a box and did a lot of rigorous traveling. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time cleaning up shit, so clean my box. Okay. Get a little bit more in here. So by the way, usually it's corked. As the first bottle of Geuze I've had, that didn't have a cork. They just cap these small bottles. They're larger bottles, they'll cork and cage. These ones, I guess they don't. Anyway, definitely smell it. So, but as you can see, of course, pretty hazy because it was sugared up, and I had, probably should have thought of that beforehand. But usually, you know, that yeast settles to the bottom and pours out pretty clear if you pour it right first. Light hazy straw color, kind of a nice pale yellow, and bit of a white head, slightly off white. So check out the aroma. Pretty funky. You know, horse blanket. It's got a bit of that sort of kind of a sulfurous thing going, but not too bad. There's some lambic producers that have it, some don't. You see it. I tend to see it normally in actually American spontaneously fermented beers. Just a hint of that, but it's pretty funky. Tons of funk. You know, getting some citrus, getting some lemon, but really the funk is kind of the big thing here at the front. Getting a bit of that kind of a sweet wheat malt that's really in the background. Smells pretty good though, so let's check it out. Cheers. Pretty nice. So, a lot of the same characteristics, tons of funk. You get a bit more of that lemon acidity on the taste. It's decently sour. It's not overpowering. Not acidic in any way. Nice, firm lactic acidity. Kind of get a bit of kind of that nuttiness that I get from kind of Boon beers. Especially this, and well, Marriage Parfait too has a little bit of that kind of almond-like character. Just a hint of a metallic quality to it, which, you know, is a lot more. It's a pretty mineral forward beer. Carbonation's nice, effervescent. The body's, I'd say probably about medium. Typical for Geuze beers, usually have a bit of a bigger body with nice effervescent carbonation. And the acidity lingers a bit. It's you get a good amount at first. It's pretty tart, but then it fades. It doesn't have a huge lingering acidity to it, at least not so far. As I'm drinking it, just a small amount of bitterness, but really not much to speak of at all. And of course, it's very dry, very, very dry. Not really getting any kind of sweetness off this, which is good. But yeah, this is actually a pretty good bottle. I kind of wish I would have not opened it so soon. I was just kind of craving Geuze, you know. But this is actually, you know, better than I expected. This is, you know, this their most basic, most affordable Geuze that they make. Marriage Parfaits and Black Label, and of course Bone Dry, Mikkeller Clad being more expensive. But really, I'm actually liking this bottle more than the 2012 Marriage Parfait that I had just opened not too long ago, about a week ago. So, yeah. Overall, I'd give it a 4.25 easy. I don't think it's quite a 4.5. Black Label is a bit better, a bit closer to Driefontein and Oude Geuze, but definitely 4.25. It might even be a 4.3 for me. This is actually pretty good. So if you see these bottles, see, I don't think we get these bottles. I would pick them up. And then just, I know you, Specs had Boon, they had the Creek, and I think they had Marriage Parfait, or it might just be regular Geuze even. I'd definitely check it out. It's a very good shelf Geuze here. It's nice. We don't have much here in Houston. We get this. We get Cuvée Rene from Lindemans, and Hansen's, which is a bit pricey, unfortunately. But Boon's usually, I don't know the prices on them here. You know, I bought this, or I got this pretty decent price, but they're a bit more affordable, and especially like the Cuvée Rene. You know, so if you're looking for something you've never had Geuze, I'd check out those two, or this and the Cuvée Renes are definitely solid and more affordable. And then of course, you know, if you're into trading or anything like that, Driefonteinen is top notch, which I've done a review for. So anyway, that's pretty much it for Boon's Oude Geuze. Of course, Boon is out of Belgium. And unfortunately, I should know this, and unfortunately do not know. Lembeek, Belgium. There you go. Couldn't remember. So anyway, this has gone on a little bit too long. So with all that said, think global, drink local, kind of, and cheers.